I have been making videos for a living for over 7 years now. And one question I've constantly asked myself is, will there ever come a day where I don't feel like I'm constantly strained by finances, time, and an overload of stress? Well, I wouldn't say things are perfect right now, but I think I've finally found something that has helped all of that feel a little more balanced. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan Luth. I am a filmmaker based out of Orange County, California, and I run a video production company called Outlands Media Group. In today's video, I wanted to explore the topic of niches. You've probably heard of this before. This term's been thrown around a lot, whether it's good or bad, and so I wanted to share a little bit of my story on how creating a niche for our video production company was something I wish I would have done a lot sooner, and why I think it's a great idea for any filmmaker looking to make more money in their business and free up their time. Okay, so Outlands Media Group. If you don't already know, I own a video production company called Outlands Media Group. We're a small company based out of Orange County, California, and we've become specialists in the world of e-bike video production. It's one of the most random niches I could have ever even imagined, and it's something we just kind of fell into. Back in the spring of 2023, we were contacted out of the blue by an electric bike company looking for a product launch video for one of their new e-bikes. At the time, Lena and I had just been talking about how we wanted to get e-bikes, and ironically enough, I had even wanted to do an e-bike spec commercial for a while anyway, so it was kind of a no-brainer. We did that commercial, they were happy, and I was really happy with how it turned out. You can go watch it up here. And then I figured that was probably that, until they contacted me again. And this time they needed another one, and so we shot another one for them and put that out on our YouTube channel. So over the course of 2023, I started sharing some of this work on my YouTube and my Instagram, and began to get a number of inquiries from other bike companies, some with budgets and some with no budgets, and I did most of them. About halfway through the year, I had a good old shower thought pop into my head. I've been told I should make a niche for my business for a while, but didn't really know what that would be or where to start. But now I have this industry that seems to be coming back to me for videos, so what if I just ran with this and decided to become the company for e-bike video production? So kind of just on a whim, I just went with it, and I put a bunch of our stuff out on Instagram, put an ad out about us. I started shaping my website and portfolio around that, and then things slowed down. Crickets. The end of 2023 and into 2024 made me start second guessing my decision. Maybe this was a bad idea until spring rolled around, which I now know is the beginning of the season for the e-bike industry. Within the first few months of the year, we booked 3 clients in a row, and then more and more, and pretty soon it started becoming consistent flow of inquiries into my inbox. That was super exciting. And so now at this point, 10 completely different clients in this space have officially chosen to work with us for their video marketing needs, whether it's a one-time project, multiple projects over the year, retainer work, you name it. It's still very early on in this right now, but I was kind of shocked at how fast things started happening once I made the decision to just start specializing in this niche. It's honestly been so much fun, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I think this is a good idea to start doing this for your video business. So here is 4 things I've learned along the way. Number 1, it's repeatable. You know how every time you get a new client and you're always feeling like you have to reinvent the wheel? Like every shoot location is different, every script is different, every creative vision is different, and you constantly have to familiarize yourself with the needs of the project because it ends up being different every single time. Sometimes that can be fun, but over time it can get exhausting, and that was what I was doing. I would spend hours on proposals because I'd have to start from scratch for almost every project. In pre-production, I'd often have a lot of unforeseen things pop up just due to doing projects of all shapes and sizes. As they say, I was becoming a jack of all trades, but a master of none, and it was causing me a lot of stress. But with a niche, I can basically template everything. Because I've done so many of these projects already, I already have a pretty good idea of exactly what the client wants, their expectations, and so I already know what it's going to look like and how much work it's probably going to be, and maybe even the questions they'll have in our initial discovery calls and things like that. So I can just make processes for everything that cuts down on pre-production time and headaches and just makes things way smoother with every project. Number 2, position yourself as an expert. When you do a certain type of video production over and over, people start to take notice. Have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to a client or agency and they ask about your portfolio for a specific thing? Let's take beer commercials, for example. Let's say you get a meeting with a client for a beer company and you really want to work with them, and so they ask you, do you have any work you can show us of past beer commercials you've done? You say, no, but I do have plenty of work in other industries, and it's basically all the same process, and I take the same approach I do for doing a beer commercial as I would with any other commercial. Now, you might get the job, but chances are you probably won't hear back from them. And that's because when a client is looking to hire someone to produce a video for them, they want to be able to trust and know that the person they're hiring has done this before and understands their industry. Now, you and I as filmmakers both know that, sure, we could probably figure it out, and even if we haven't done it before and haven't shot a beer commercial, we'd probably do a really good job anyway, but clients and agencies don't typically think like that or understand that. So if you have a client that you're talking to and have not one, but let's say 5 different beer commercials, you can show them and say, yeah, we do this all the time, there's a lot bigger chance they're gonna go work with you because you pretty much establish trust right off the bat. If all the other beer companies in their industry are hiring you for their video work, then why shouldn't they? That's also a reason why people say make specs for the type of work you want to do. So the best part about this is when you reach a point where you have almost zero marketing you need to do because it just becomes referral based. So let's say so-and-so liked your beer commercial and they told their friends who also have a beer company, and they reach out to you, they like your video and tell their friends. Pretty soon their whole circle knows about you, and over time you just start to become the guy for beer commercials that clients just don't even think twice about reaching out because that's your specialty. You're an expert in that field, and it just becomes a snowball effect over time. Number 3, less stress. You already have an idea of what the client is going to want, so there's almost no guesswork involved. Kind of like tip number 1, where I talked about your pre-production time being cut down. Another thing I've noticed is less stress. I don't find myself second guessing things as much because I already have a really good idea of how the project will go, what the client's going to be like to work with, and I already have a process for how everything will work, so I don't have to feel like I have these stressful thoughts just living rent-free in my head all of the time like I used to with brand new clients and completely different projects all the time. Being able to just repeat something is nice, and I like that it just helps me feel like I have a really clear understanding of what my business does and where it's going. Number 4, it's scalable. Over time, this niche becomes a process you can repeat and start training others to do the jobs you may not have time for anymore. This is where being able to delegate starts to really pay off, and you can start thinking long-term about becoming more of a business owner and less of a business doer, which gives you time to focus on other things like passion projects. For me, I am not 100% there yet. I have a little ways to go before I can officially start handing things off to a more full-time team, but I have trained up and outsourced some stuff and have already seen the benefits of it. For example, there's a film Lean and I have been wanting to write for years, but when I was working as a DP or in the early stages of Outlands, we were just so incredibly busy and stressed all the time, we were just never even able to think about starting on it. Fast forward to today, and I'm happy to report we're almost finished writing the whole thing because we've actually had the time to do it and still make a living with running our video business. Now, I understand this may not be for everyone, and some people really like having a ton of variety all the time, and honestly, respect if that's you. Being more of a jack of all trades is totally a way to do things too. I just have personally found that I can't do that anymore like I used to because it just burned me out. Often I think about where I want my life to be in a few years when I'm older and Lena and I have kids one day, and I just really want to be able to be there for them and not just be some dude who's always so consumed by his business that he doesn't have time for his kids, his wife, his relationship with God, his family, because at the end of the day, that's what matters to me most. So some of you might be thinking, yeah, that's cool, but I don't want to be pigeonholed into one thing forever and just be stuck shooting the same type of videos over and over and over again. And you're right, that would suck, which is why you have to look at it from a long-term perspective so you can start training up a team to eventually take over the work for you, then go start another niche, and there's nobody telling you you can't. There's a limitless number of niches you could start. The other thing is, how do you actually do it? So I'm thinking about maybe doing another video on this of how it's been working for me so you can see some actionable steps you can take for this. I'm not exactly where I want to be yet 100%, but I am at a place where I feel like I can share some wins in this. And if that's something you'd be interested in watching, please just, I don't know, comment below, let me know. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing my story and some of my thoughts on this topic. If you feel like you've got some value out of this, consider hitting that subscribe button. And as always, you can follow us on Instagram to see what we're up to doing with Outlands. But yeah, that's all I got time for today, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.